Rowan Barrett is a retired Canadian professional basketball player. He's now the assistant general manager for the Canadian men's program, where he still works with Steve Nash, who is the GM. We've reached him by phone in Toronto. So, Rowan, first have to ask you work so closely with Steve Nash. Something tells me you may not have been as surprised as everyone else by this announcement today.
No, you know what? I mean, just obviously knowing him well. I knew it was gonna come at some point. Just wasn't sure at what point. He would be ready to announce that to the world. Obviously, it's a challenge for any athlete. When to call it quits and step out into the brave new world. But I am happy for him that he's done this. He's taken this step. And at the same time, it's a little bittersweet because you also wanted to see him play. You wanted to see him go just one more time. But, for the health of him and for his family, I think he's definitely made the right choice.
It certainly is well known that Nash battled some injuries in recent years. And you talk about how tough that decision is to make. I imagine there is a point in every athlete's life where, for many athletes anyway, at some point you have to listen to what your body is telling you. And no matter how much your spirit wants to carry on, you have to listen to the injuries.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, what is the essence of a great athlete, right? The essence of a great athlete is, like Steve, an icon is to be able to do things that no one's been able to do. It's to go past the limitations that, people think might exist. And so something like an injury is something you're always believing that you'll overcome. It's always something that you'll be able to put in your rearview mirror. But at this age now, at 40 plus years old, definitely those injuries kind of taking the toll now and probably accelerating this decision, for him.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I do think he's made the right decision. I think he's made the responsible decision. And now he's going to have to figure out, what do I want to do now? I'm still a young man. In basketball terms, he's over the hill, you'd think, but very young man in terms of what he can do with the rest of his life, and very talented man as well. So I'm sure there'll be a ton of opportunities, and we'll have to take some time and figure out where he wants to go from here.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit more about where you think he might go. We certainly know that you work together as part of the Canadian men's basketball team. He's the GM, and so we know he's very busy continuing really that mentorship that he has shown for so many young basketball players in Canada. Where else do you think we might see Steve Nash in the years ahead?
Very difficult to know, but I would definitely say that I think he likes the camera. I think he likes that. I think he likes to talk the game. I wouldn't be surprised if one day I saw him doing some of that. Mm-hmm. Potentially commenting on the game. But he has so many, diversified interests. Whether it's with filmmaking or with his foundation. I'm sure he has a ton of opportunities to do other things. So, and I think maybe that's the exciting thing, is that probably he's not even sure at this point.
Yes.
What he will get involved in. But he is multi-talented. He has many interests. And I'm sure someone that has represented us as a nation in the way that he has, in terms of his character and his humility, and as a humanitarian, I'm sure there'll be a ton of good opportunities ahead of him.
It will be exciting to watch him in the years ahead. You are in the fortunate position of having worked shoulder to shoulder alongside him as part of the Canadian basketball team at the Sydney Olympics back in 2000. Steve Nash was captain of the team. What was that like, being a part of a team together with him?
Captaining that team with him was an awesome experience. I mean, one of Steve's legacies, I think, on the court that he's going to leave is that he was always able to rise and raise the level of the players around him. I don't know that he's had one teammate that I've ever heard have a negative word to say about him. He was loved and beloved, and I think that it was probably the highlight of all of our professional careers, representing our country. For all the marbles, in the Olympics, and especially doing it after putting our team back in the Olympics after so many years and so many failures not making it. Was a tremendous experience, I'm sure, that we'll all cherish.